Greetings, and welcome in to episode 8. Sorry, got running a little bit behind. We got some snow while we were all tucked away in our beds last night, so I had to take care of that uh, this afternoon. But I think we're good to go. Um, last episode, I believe we got some crops planted. We got the greenhouse, passive cooling set up. We just need to keep an eye on that in our base. This episode, let's try to see if we can do something with those potatoes. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've had to make the appliances, so we'll see if we've got everything that we need. Hopefully, we don't have to do mining today. I did some mining off camera yesterday. Got a bunch of iron, 2 more rounds of steel because we lost that 200 grams of steel to Mars. We sacrificed it to the planet. hopefully, hopefully we don't have any more instances like that. We've already made the sacrifice for the year, right? Sorry, get a sip of coffee. It's cold out there. Um, but yeah, hopefully we're good to go. If the only thing is if we have to do any alloy smelting, I will have to get, I believe it's nickel and silver. So I don't know that we'll get that far. I'd like to get at least food going. So like the microwave, so we can at least start eating baked potatoes. And then, yeah, shoot, that should be good for now. And then, time permitting, I'd like to sort out our power networks. I want to get that squared away. I know we need alloy for the APU. I don't know about the transformer, so we'll check that out. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? Episode 8. Hopefully everybody's Monday's going well today. Yeah, I was on my moon playthrough the other day. Dinking around over there. Check all my deep miner outposts. It looks like I had them shut off because they had quite a bit of ingots and ores stored in the silos. More than I'm probably going to use. All right, what do we got? We're a bit warm in the base. I'm going to leave that valve open. Should cool off in here, hopefully.
Hunger caution.
Yeah. Yep. So, I got to thinking, folks. Instead of calling her lady, maybe we ought to come up with a name for this person. This voice, right? So, if you're watching now or watching later on YouTube, leave a comment down there with a name suggestion, and then sometime later this week we'll put a poll out and see what we get. Oh, that is a beautiful sound. I was like, what is that? All right, let me grab my suit. So yeah, like I said, I did some mining off camera, and I believe last episode we planted some potatoes. I think just the 2, so we don't, in case there was a catastrophic failure in the base, we had 1 extra. Because you only start out with 3, right? Lock on that. No, we won't. We will refill our oxygen. Okay, yeah, that's something else we have to do. is get water and air going. Is that something we got up here? Yeah, so that's on our to-do list. Maybe we'll do that today too. Oxygen and water production. And then quality of life, power networks if time's permitting. Alright. Turn this on. See what we got here, man. Hopefully the temp's good in here. And they're probably done because I mined quite a bit the other day. Temp is okay. It's actually a little cooler than they like. But we got seeds. Okay, so they didn't do great. Actually, we'll probably just replant these. Yeah, because that light's not automated, right? Yeah, and that helped with our, like, progression here somewhere. Yeah, they want us to build this here, so we'll hide that for now. One, two. Let's just replant two. Oh man, these are gonna spoil, so we're gonna need like a fridge and stuff. I don't have a microwave yet. Ugh. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Yeah, it's cooling off in here. It was 32 something, 31.8, just dropped again. Nice. That's because it's nighttime. So, let us. What do we need to do? We do something with those potatoes. Can we make a fridge? Is that made here? It is. Do we do the small? We could do either or. Let's do the small one for now, I guess. So I need iron and copper. Iron and copper. There's copper in there. Steal some iron from here. Actually, hold on. I went and did some mining. Man, I try to keep the machines fed with their own supply, so like. Oh yeah, we got plenty. We'll grab this. Iron and copper. We'll grab this. Iron and copper. And then yeah, so check this out. I got some more rounds of steel right here. That's 2 more rounds. Makes up for last time. And I did have lead. So the only thing we'll be missing for the alloys would be silver and nickel. Yeah, I don't have any of that. I'm hoping to do that next episode. The alloys next episode. But we'll see how far we get, man. Just kind of play it by ear. I'm going to turn that off so we can conserve power. 31.1 and going down. Place this real quick. Do we have filters? I do not. So, do we have iron in here? Yes. They're 5 iron though, aren't they? Yeah. So we'll do 2 rounds of iron. Oh, oh, oh. Slow down, Turbo. Oh yeah, and because we did lose 200 grams last episode of steel, I'd like to figure out a way. I don't really want to box it in, but I want to box it in. You know what I mean? This furnace here, so we don't lose stuff again. Man, that was terrible, dude. We actually have enough for maybe the iron. Definitely the copper. No, we'll need more heat. Okay. Luckily, copper's pretty low heat, you know. I think it's only like 600 Kelvin. Well, that's probably the minimum. But yeah. All right. You know what we could do is just get rid of some of this excess stuff. Go toss it in the machine. Let's get rid of this copper. There. Call that good. Yeah. All right, who needs copper? He might. Yes, for sure he does. How is he on gold? Yeah, we'll throw another one in there. He needs iron. No, not really. He needs iron? Yes. Throw that in there. And then we were gonna make a filter while we were thinking about it. Carbon dioxide, let's do 2. So, and it goes from left to right. So it'll use that 28% first. And we can chuck that in here. And then we have a spare. Looks like we need to make more lockers, folks. And then until we figure out who needs what, we can keep the extra ingots in here. Okay, so what we were gonna do, what comes first with the potatoes? Oh, we were gonna make a fridge to store the extra potatoes. Fridge. And we'll just do the small. Figured out where the iron needs to go. What is that? Well, I don't, so I've never built one of these. That looks like a liquid input. What is that? I'm gonna have to build it. Hold on. I don't know if I want it there though. Oh, that's strange. Interesting. Can I put it there? Now, what is that? Okay, hold on. We gotta do this. I want to see what that is. Close that. Close that. Close that. We're not mining. I need my tool belt. Okay. We're just gonna just take a look at this. A pipe connection. For water or what? Well, let's find out. So we do this. Open your helmet. You're inside. We do this. We pause this real quick. Let's go to fridge. Small. Excuse me. Essentially a heavily insulated box that allows users to pipe in any desired atmosphere. Oh. The Recurso minibar fridge has a simple solution to the problem of food decay. It stores a small number of items at any temperature you can muster. For more information about food preservation, visit the food decay section of the Stationpedia. It's got 2 slots, so it won't hold much. Wow, so that's gas. Yeah, pipe input, gas. Huh, I've never built one of these. And there doesn't look like there's power. So it's atmosphere. And what they say? Sorry, we'll pause this again. Hey, we're learning, man. That's what Stationeers is. It's a learning experience, you know. And I've never built this one. I built the large, and it takes power, and it holds it at once you turn it on, the large fridge drops the interior temperature to minus 131 degrees Celsius, I believe, and your stuff's good. As for this, I don't know. So we're learning today. We know food decays over time into decayed food unless refrigerated in a suitable atmosphere. The exact speed of decay varies individually by temperature. Refrigeration will slow decay, but many foods will be damaged by exposure to extreme low temperature as well as the extreme heat. The optimum temperature is 0 Kelvin, minus 272 degrees Celsius. Each food type has its own decay properties. Tomato soup lasts a lot longer than a tomato, for instance. Pressure. Food decays faster when the pressure drops below 1 atmosphere or 101 kilopascals. Decay happens exponentially more quickly as the atmosphere approaches a perfect vacuum. Decay happens exponentially more. Oh, okay. Okay. Different gases can slow and accelerate the decay process. The process will take account of prospective gas ratios and mixed atmospheres in calculating a decay modifier. The following rates apply across all foods. Oxygen 1.3, nitrogen 0.6. Oh, okay. This is the decay modifier. And we know we have at least these 3 in our base right now. That's interesting. So we take our tablet out. Because honestly, right now, man, it's too warm in here for that stuff. Oops. Could tell what I did last. There's nothing in there. I don't know if I want this then. Um... I mean, it's just storage for the potato, but like the large fridge, this won't. We could experiment, I guess. Let's get out of my suit. Let's run a pipe and a passive vent. Do we have pipe? We've got pipe. Is that a vent? Huh, look at that. Dude, we're golden. Let's science this shit. Okay, so if we do this... It is gas, right? I'm assuming. And then... do this. And... do that. Oh, we've got pollutant in here, huh? 29.1. So that's taking in... Ooh, I have a thought. That's taking in our atmosphere. So let's... I need my suit again. Grab this potato. I don't think... Yeah, I think those potatoes aren't going to do very well in that fridge. The closer you get to absolute zero. I believe that's what it said. Yeah, absolute zero. The better off you are. So you really... So my thought was this. This pipe... Well, because the valve's open. But we could create something like this, right? And make this temperature cold. And then pipe it into here. Of course, we'd filter out like the pollutant in that, but it'd be like a passive cooling fridge. Be kind of cool. I don't know how well that potato's gonna do. No clue. I left my light on. Right now it's at 2% damage.
Waste tank caution.
You should have told me that before I cycled the airlock, lady. Alright, we'll see. I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to help at all. We're going to have probably the best thing to do would be to trap Mars's colder temperature and pipe it into that fridge. We may end up having to bite the bullet and grab a... Yeah. Grab a large fridge. That would make those potatoes last longer, so... We'll do that. But good to know, right? I mean, that's something you could do in a pinch. Especially like if you're on Europa, man. That temperature on Europa is like I think it fluctuates from minus 149 Celsius to like 142 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But and it's pure oxygen, dude. So if you look at the decay modifier, one times 1.3, different gases. Yeah, it wouldn't be great. Carbon dioxide would be better, but like we said, carbon dioxide freezes it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be an ice cube on Europa. You'd have to use a gas that wouldn't freeze. Minus, just say 149. Whoop. 149. So you would have to have less pressure than 900 kilopascals, up to 142 or so ish. Yeah, keep it about, 800 kilopascals of pressure in that fridge, the small fridge, and you could use nitrogen to keep that cool. That's why we're here, man. Science the shit out of this. Good to know these things. Good to know these things. We are going to spend the extra material and build a large fridge, though. So this takes up space in a locker somewhere. Can we put it elsewhere? Actually, where's our food crate? Yeah, I'll put that in there. Okay. Put some shit away. Now the suit. Okay, large fridge then. So in a previous video, I mean, obviously we're kind of running out of room here. This is going to be the workshop. This is kind of where we do our work, right? Making stuff. So eventually, I would like to, we're going to expand. We'll probably pop a door in. I don't know, right there, or move my cooling operation, maybe right there. But pop a door in, and or actually could just build adjacent to this, pop that wall out, or leave it. Anyway, expansion, right? Kitchen. We talked about in the previous episode, maybe 2 episodes ago, kind of our future plans here, Greenhouse is separate where we grow foods in Mars's atmosphere. And then this is the workshop where we do all of our work. The next one up would be like I kind of want to make that the kitchen area, because we go top off food and water, come into the workshop, do some work. If we have to, go outside, that kind of stuff. And then like another section of building for living space, man. An office, place to hang your suit instead of in the mining locker here or whatever. Your limit is your imagination, right? And I've got a pretty decent imagination. So got sidetracked. What we need for right now, I think it's made in here. What do I have on me? Oh, the bridge. So yeah, we're not gonna plug up this. Where's the back of this? It's right there. Okay, so the power comes in from the rear. Is that a good idea? No, but it'll have to do. And I think... Ah. I think the power's right there. We don't necessarily need the data. Ah. Sometimes it's hard to tell which way the ghost is going. You know? It looks like that's power. Yeah. So we should have power to this now. Yep. There. So we've hooked up the power. Now if we check the temperature on this, it's minus 131 degrees Celsius, right? We can turn that off. We'll just have to keep an eye on it because it eventually warm up. That works for now. Microwave, because we want to cook a potato. We want to, what do you call it? Reap what we sow? Is that the correct term? Micro. Wait. We're gonna need a bench. Is that made here? It is. Helps if you can spell. It is not made here. We are running out of room. Could put it right here, I guess. Across from the fridge. Yeah. Ooh, where is this made? Oh, wait. Is it a table kit? And we may actually have one already. I think your lanyard comes with it. Might be in with the food. No. Well, look at that, man. We got both. What else is in there? Egg? Yeah, the eggs are fucked right now. Alright. Powered bench. That was the tooltip, right? Powered bench, yep. F2. So we can put this bad boy right here. And then for those of you that are new, if you hit T to place the microwave, doesn't matter, man. You can, however you bring the ghost up and then left click your mouse. Right, that places it on the bench, but it's not there, man. It won't work. You gotta wrench it to the table. There you go. Now it'll work once we hook it to power. Probably gonna need more cable. Maybe. There we go. Look at that. So, shall we benefit from the fruits of our labor? And every time you open that door, you know, warm up the fridge. So you got to turn that back on. And then close the lid just like a regular microwave. Look at that. Baked potato. Don't mind if I do. Well done. Okay, so remember at the beginning of our series, we talked about the general rules of survival, you know. Um, there's basically three of them. The three most important things you want to get started, right? First thing we did was the shelter. We got a roof over our heads, and then the second thing is water because you can live. What is it? You can live in a survival situation, more on water than food, but you still need the caloric intake when you're out there, you know, busting your ass trying to get back to wherever you were, or you're out, you know, hunting for a month, or whatever your situation is that you're out there in the wilds, right? So water is more important than food. Once you get water established, you know you're either getting it from a stream and boiling it, or whatever you're doing. You know, you've got shelter and water. Next thing obviously is food. And now we've got those three things done. So we are set now. The rest of this is just it's fun, man. Fun and science. So pat yourselves on the back. We did it. Um, I'm lit up like a Christmas tree here. Okay. What is she complaining about? Water. So, definitely our next step, I think, should be oxygen and water production. Probably more so oxygen. How much water do we got in there? 32 liters? We're getting there. Getting down there. Crap. We got potatoes planted. Hold on. They probably need light. That's something we gotta have to keep an eye on. So in about 10 minutes, just say right around quarter till, we need to shut that light off. Because if you look at a plant, for those that haven't played before, it's growing. They're all growing poorly, and it's probably because they're light deficient. We don't have a temperature's not bad in here, but it could be the temp too, right? So if we Look up potatoes if you can spell. So, minimum grow temperature, max grow temperature, minimum ideal is 20 degrees Celsius, max. So, right, that's why I try to keep it about 25 Celsius in the greenhouse. Minimum grow pressure, max grow pressure, right? Your ideal is 50 to 100, and we are at 61 currently. So it's not pressure, it's not temperature, right? It's got to be our daylight. They were out of light. So we'll check that at about quarter till, 10 till, and see how it goes. They should be getting better, though. We'll check it. And that can go in here. Because we tend to be clean, or I tend to be clean. So, oxygen production. I'm gonna poke a hole through that door. It'll be the kitchen. Thinking, thinking, thinking. And I've got all my electricity over here. Thinking, sorry, my bad. Drink a cup of coffee, caffeinate the brain. Think about this for a second. If I want to expand that way, it's probably a good idea to refill our oxygen in the workshop. But I don't want to use that wall. Maybe we're going to end up moving that whole operation too. If we expand out that way. Could put it on the ceiling. There's cable running up there though. Maybe we'll just kind of do it outside for now. Till we figure something out. Because I would hate to set up oxygen production right here and then have to move it. Because that'll go away and go in there. That's just water. Could actually put it right where this fridge is. And move the fridge. Because we're going to have two pipe. We're going to have oxygen and nitrogen. We want to capture the nitrogen for our jetpack. definitely want to capture the oxygen. And we're going to go out that way. And maybe that way. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? I think we're just gonna do it outside for the moment. I don't really want to, though, man. Yeah, let's swap these around. I'm worried about later on if I'm gonna have to move something if I go out that way and then that way. Because really, we should have a tank somewhere, right? Storing the nitrogen gas. You know what? That's gonna be. I was gonna say we could expand off this direction. Because we're gonna need more power and all that eventually. Oh, decisions, decisions. Anyway, I'm boring you guys, so let's. Do we have any extra stuff? We got 5 extra iron frames. 1 iron sheet. 5 steel sheets. We don't need much, just enough to. Hold on. Can we build a tank? Search. Copper and steel. We might need 2. Can we build 2? No, we need more silicon. Might do 2 while we're at it, if we have the stuff, build another battery before the daylight comes up. Ah. Get that going. So we don't build more than 2. And then we need frames. Let's do... six, I guess. we're gonna need... I don't think we came with any ice crushers. I don't think so. Is that here? We need, 2, I guess. One for water, one for oxygen. And pipe. We've got 10 insulated. We could try that, see how it works. Okay, I think I have white paint. Yeah, there's white for oxygen. Do we have blue? We do not. I didn't go crazy, did I? No. Okay, got the crusher, got insulated pipe, insulated tank. We're probably gonna need cable. Yeah, we're gonna need cable. Ah. Should get this mapped out. And a battery. How are we doing? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we got a big station battery there. Need copper. How much? 8. Running out of room. I think we're good. Go out and melt that. I need my bag. Need to do some setup here. That way I got a little bit more inventory space. So let's try somewhere just kind of out of the way for right now, because we don't want to get in the way of this. Maybe kind of catty corner. Ooh, could go over here. Nah, I don't want to blow it up. How's that look? Gonna need stairs though. So let's... What kind of freaking room? I want to do it actually right here. See, maybe like that. Doesn't work, we'll move it. We should bring that down. And then we can do this. Because your drill, I don't know if I've explained this yet, but your drill, you can set it to flatten. I think I went over this. You just kind of stand where you want the level. That ain't bad. Yeah. And then weld that up. Okay, so got our tanks. Well, that's new. Maybe? Maybe not. They've always had a data connection, I guess. Okay, one will be oxygen, one will be nitrogen. And then water, we can actually put on this side and run it that way. Yeah. Ice. Ooh. We're gonna need filtration units. So let's put that as close to this as we can. One there. One there. What do we need? Iron sheets. So at least 2 iron sheets. And there's a way you can check that, right? A crusher. To find out what you need, we're gonna need iron sheets and cable coil. We gotta make more cable anyway. But out here, if we've got 600 Kelvin, we do. We're probably gonna lose it though. Yeah. Can we bump up that temperature by getting under pressure? No, it's just going down. Okay. No biggie. Going pretty well today. Going pretty well. That's just gonna be temporary till we figure out what we're doing in here. Who needed copper? Probably this beast. that built. Unlock helmet. Oh, I forgot to check the light. Damn it. Hold on. That's still cold. Nice. Okay. Alright, we can make another one. And those should be done. So what these are going to do is when you input into here, this will be water because it's closer to the building. So water ice will go in, and then because water, what do they call that? Right there. So this is the ice that will mine up out out on Mars or Moon or whatever, right? But so when you put water ice in the crusher, it'll give you 20 moles of water and then 5 moles of nitrogen, and nitrogen being a gas. So each crusher has a liquid output and a gas output. Our nitrogen from this water machine will go into that tank, and then water will make some insulated pipe and run it up that way. And then with oxide, when you put it in this crusher over here, it'll give you 23 moles of oxygen and 3 moles of nitrogen, right? So what we're going to do is with a filtration device, we don't need one for this side, but with a filtration device, we can take the oxygen and nitrogen that this is going to make, run it through a filtration, right? And then the filtered side of that filtration machine will pump the oxygen into this tank, and then the waste output will go into the nitrogen tank here. And then our water is going to go out that way. That's how that's going to work. But what we need to do is run a crap ton of cable out here from somewhere. Probably out this way. That's my console, I believe, for the temperature. Yeah. That's probably the closest power source, because I don't want to rob it from the airlock. I mean, the other option, I don't want to do that, though. The other option is to... You know what we didn't do? I need more cable. We didn't run our generation to the battery over here. Okay. Whoop, hold on. Let's take care of what? We are thirsty. Yeah, that's our closest power source. Alright, we'll get all this wired in. And we'll be able to crush some, at least some oxygen ice and get that going. Then we need a way to top up our bottle. And I need a filtration unit. Get distracted so easy. Here, let's do this first. I need light. That away. This is going to be water. That's going to be nitrogen. That's going to be oxygen. That should... Okay, so... just to kind of show you what I'm doing here, for those that haven't played before. I color code the machines and the tanks, right? According to the color of the symbols, right? So oxygen, obviously white. See how nitrogen is black right there? So that tank back here, the second tank we made will be black. Carbon dioxide's gray, volatile's red, and so forth, right? I think on the moon playthrough, you saw I had over there behind the advanced furnace, I had that row of tanks that were color-coded to let me know what's in those. So, let's make a filtration device to put here, because we're going to filter nitrogen into there and oxygen into there. And we don't need one for water, because we can just run the gas output directly into that nitrogen tank. So we can put the blue paint away and grab the black. How did our battery do? And we can always jumpstart that, right? Because we have coal. We got a little bit there. Filtration, that's made here. I believe it's atmospherics. Oh, I hope there's nothing outside. We got a dust storm now. I don't think I dropped anything out there. No, I think we're good. It's good timing. We're at 5:30. Check on our potatoes. $22. Thriving. So the max you can get, though, I have gotten 3 potatoes out of these. This one's ready. It looks like we're gonna get 2 each, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 at least. And 4 seeds, and we'll just replant those. We'll keep them going. We are doing good. Those batteries are charging nicely with the wind. Okay, here's our atmospherics. Okay, we got cable, atmospherics. Oh, we need filters, right? Because your atmospherics are gonna filter for the gas that you want. I don't have space. We will paint these later. So what we want is we want oxygen. And then the waste gas will be nitrogen. Okay. We'll have to go and check our solar panels too. After the storm. Oh man, what can we do while we're waiting on the storm? Oh. We're working on that currently. It's really not much. Get out of our suit for a bit. I know. I haven't done this in a while. If you've seen me stream before, or checked out any of my previous videos, I used to do a segment, question of the day. It was kind of just a pop quiz thing and see what chat thinks. So, let's do that while we're waiting. Let's see what the question of the day from, I believe it's Stream Elements. Yep. So Stream Elements says today's question of the day is, in fire science, what does it take to sustain a fire? Right, so y'all know, if you've watched my channel, I am an emergency responder. I am a firefighter, engineer. I get to drive the wee-woo trucks. Right, so there's 3 things that fire needs to maintain combustion, the flame, right? Do any of you guys have a clue as to what those 3 things are? And I'll give you a minute or 2 to answer. The wind is really charging those batteries, though. I can't see that one, though. Oh, I can just barely see the yellow flicker. come a long ways, man. We've got passive cooling. We're maintaining a decent temperature here and in the greenhouse. We got all of our machines up. We're smelting steel. Well, if we had any. Okay, so back in the day, they teach it differently now. It's now called the fire tetrahedron. So instead of three parts to sustain a fire, there's actually four, but it hasn't changed, and I'll explain the difference. So the question of the day was, in fire science, what does it take to sustain a fire? Okay, well, one, you need fuel, obviously. Okay. Two, a fire, like just like us, needs oxygen to breathe. Okay. And three, if you notice when we're smelting, what do we need? Temperature, right? So that was the old fire triangle back in the day. Now they teach it as the fire tetrahedron, so that you have those three elements, but now the fourth element is once you have those three, you have I believe it's a chemical chain reaction. I think that's right. There we go. To sustain fire with those elements. The more you know. Remember those from back in the day? The more you know. I think it was NBC did that. I'm going to actually empty my waste tank before she complains about it. I'll do it in here. Our wind charged up those batteries pretty good, man. We should have power for a while. I'm going to set up this filtration machine, and then that way I kind of free up some space. So what we want to do, make sure you're on filtration and going the right way. What we want to do is set that there. I don't have the crap to build it. What's it take? Pipe. I don't have regular pipe. I got insulated pipe. That's okay. We can... Did I? I did not. That's in the wrong spot. Needs to be there. There we go. That's in line. Okay. We just need to take care of the solar panels real quick. Not beautiful? Well, you just spin around and look at the sun like that. We worked hard on that, man. 2 hours we did that. Okay. Let's... Yeah, we need regular pipe. We need regular pipe and cable coil, which we have here. Okay. Just need to get some regular pipe. I think we've got some. Oh, my phone keeps going off. Just give me a second. What did it need? Just 2? Whoop. Wrong button. Split 1. That back. So, why isn't that working? Oh, helps if it's in the correct hand. Okay, now we need cable. Right? Yep. And it's already white, so that works in our favor. Okay. Then what we can do is free up some space. Put that there. Put that there. Okay, so we're gonna put the ice in. There's no liquid because it's gonna be gas. So oxygen and nitrogen are gonna come into the input, right? We're filtering for O2. So this filtered side goes into the oxygen tank, and we can actually set that up right now. And we'll paint it later. Okay. And we can do this as well. Okay, that's set now. And then our waste gas, if we don't have enough pipe, we're going to need more. But our waste gas will go towards the nitrogen here. Yeah. So we need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 10 more insulated pipe. Extra's always good. So what we also need to do is wire all this in. I don't think I need the data side. Mainly just power.
Power low.
Now, how are we gonna do this? Because we need to go that way. Let's come down. might be too low. Ah. I'm gonna need more cable. Whoop. Are we gonna make it? Look at that, dude. Hell yeah. We just need some insulated pipe and we're ready. Wonder if I want to fix this. I mean, I can kind of see it. What we can do is just bump it a little bit. There we go. Like that and like that. That way we can kind of see our cable there. All right, our first gas setup, man. So let's grab. We need 10. What did I say? 10? I think 10. Grab 10 extra pipe. And remember in the previous episode when we set up our water, I don't remember which one that was, but why we used insulated pipe is because it'll maintain the temperature, right? Those ice crushers, you can set the temperature on. So, if we set it to, we could set it to like 20 degrees, I guess. It'll just take longer for it to melt, but that's all right. Set it to 20 degrees so that we're breathing in, room temperature oxygen. The jetpack doesn't matter, I don't think. I mean, it matters to a point where temperature and pressure, too much of either or, and it'll pop. That bottle will pop. But definitely the oxygen and the water, we kind of want at room temp, so we'll keep that at 20 degrees Celsius. Insulated pipe. Make about 10 of those. We'll pipe that up. Oh yeah, we need the black paint. Oh, we're gonna need a lot of liquid pipe. I think that's in the greenhouse. insulated liquid pipe. We got 13 right here. We can at least get that going this way. Actually, do we still have the white? I want the white too. Our water runs down that way. Okay. Okay, that will finish that off. Paint that black because that's nitrogen, right? Now, one thing you could do is we know that oxygen and nitrogen are coming into here, right? So you could paint that black and white to let you know what gases are in the pipe, right? That helps me, especially when you are capturing gases from your furnace, because there's all kinds of gas in there. Actually, we can look. There might not be now, though. But if you remember on my moon playthrough, I was capturing the gas from the furnace, right? So yeah, so we've got CO2, oxygen and volatile are burning in there. We've got nitrogen and pollutant, you know. So if you're capturing this gas, let me put that away. If you're capturing this gas in your waste output, right, you can have that. I mean, you can paint it multiple colors. Usually from the furnace to my gas filtration system, it's orange. It's just multi-purpose, you know. But as you filter it down, you know, you can multicolor it, which is what I do. That way I know what's what. And then that's just straight up O2. I have run out of room. We aren't done yet, though, because we still need to do this. I'm gonna come out first, and then down, I think. Actually, let's go out 2, and then down. That gives us room to play around with the water pipe. And then bend it into there. There. Now we take and color that black, because we know that water ice off gas is nitrogen. And then what we can do is just come straight out that way and tie in with our how far can I go? That's a 10. That goes into the ground. Do a 5? Yeah, that'd be better. There we go. That is insulated, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's go up one. And then we'll go kind of over. Follow this cable through. Yeah, we're offset a little bit. And then we could do another big stretch. Try 5, maybe. There's 3. Five. Yeah. We can actually run this pipe. I don't have enough. We'll have to make some more. But we'll run like right over top. That's in line with it, ain't it? Yeah, we'll have to actually come... We'll have to come up one more. Trying to keep it neat and tidy. Come up one more. Bend that over that way. Come out 5. And then... That's almost 3, ain't it? We'll make some more pipe and mess with that. I think what we can do, though, is we can kick this off. Let's turn this up to... I assume that's increase? 7, so it's 278 Kelvin. Remember the conversion. 270, your Kelvin minus 273 gives you Celsius. So that is... So we need 293. And then go down. There, that'll give us 20 degrees Celsius temperature. So if I take my bag before it gets too warm and melts in my hand, yeah, a whole stack, dude. And then I'll kind of show you what's going on here. That crusher, once it reaches temperature, right? It has to warm it up to 293. As you can see, the internal atmosphere is going up. It's at 286 and climbing. Once it reaches 293, this pipe will start to fill up with the proper temperature gas. See, there it goes. It's 19 degrees Celsius currently. Right? And then we flip that on. Oh, we're not wired in. Crap. Crap. I gotta drop that on the ground. We don't have enough cable. Where's the power? Yeah, we don't have enough. I need to turn that off before we pop that pipe. Dang it. It's actually not bad. We'll go fix this though. Put some stuff away, man. How are we looking on time? Ah, crap, man. Okay. I'm gonna finish this up with you guys, and then we're going to go. We need cable real quick. Just build it all. We're making her though. We'll be able to make oxygen here. We'll probably have to tap that oxygen tank in the base one more time, but we'll get this. We'll get this wired up and be able to refill our bottles. I gotta attach a. Hold on. I have to attach a filler. May put that right here. So we'll run a pipe off of this coming this way to a our canister filler. Okay, so that's on now. We can continue smelting ice.
Hydration critical.
Okay, so now that oxygen nitrogen mixture, yeah, it's gone. It went through the filtration machine and came out here. If you look, now that's pure oxygen, right? At 19.2 degrees Celsius. And then it's plumbing it in. The nitrogen that's being off-gassed is coming in here for storage. So we're capturing that nitrogen so we can refill our jetpack at some point. Right? And the same thing will happen when we do water ice here. The water will go towards our water storage tank over there, and then any nitrogen it off-gases gets captured. And we can do the same thing. We can run a nitrogen pipe over here underneath this to a gas tank storage unit and refill our nitrogen bottle. And then we could figure out what we will, where we want to move this operation, you know, as we go, because we can move it over here. Maybe expand the shop out a little more so we can have maybe we could just leave this here too and pipe the well, I don't know. That's a lot of pipe and further away. But we'll figure out what we want to do with this, and then we'll move this accordingly. We can keep everything outside, but move the refill station inside. You know, so we'll figure it out, man. We'll get there. So now that door's open. That means it's done, but there's still pressure in the system. What I like to do is get rid of that pressure, so it says 0. That way there's no mistaking. No blowing pipes and that. We'll leave that on. Didn't realize it took that long. And if you notice, it's maintaining that temperature. There we go. We can turn that off and turn that off. Golden. We have produced oxygen. So, get back inside here. Like I said, we'll have to tap this one more time. We're getting there, man. Hopefully that's the last time we have to do that. batteries are looking really good. Okay. So, oxygen and water production done. We have built those machines. We're able to store oxygen. We'll be able to store water as soon as we plumb it in. So what we can do is get rid of... Whoa, hello. Get rid of this. Come on. There. I've got a to-do list on my desktop. I kind of... I just sat here and thought about what I want to do, you know. We got the oxygen and water production done. We did, what our goal today was to, harvest our crops and then build the, appliances to do something with it. We were able to make a baked potato and actually eat that potato today. And we added another station battery. So I think our next goal should be power networks, and we can actually do alloys next episodes because I really do want to get an area power unit on this, a battery backup for this airlock. So we can do alloys next episode, and then we can also do
Hunger caution.
Yes, dear, I will fix that. Jeez, she's so demanding. Looks like I gotta... Yeah, we need to check our potatoes anyway. So yeah, alloys next episode first. We'll probably do that first. I'll have to do some mining for silver off stream. And then we can do power networks. We can start isolating power networks. So we're not putting a strain on our electrical system here. Right? Because our whole base, man, our whole base is running off of one cable right now. Right? This room, the airlock, and the greenhouse is running off of one cable. And eventually the draw is going to be more than this cable can handle. The cable can only handle 5,000. Oh, is it kilowatts or watts? Cable coil. Okay, it's 5,000 watts or 5 kilowatts of power, right? So if we draw more power than that, we're going to start blowing them. So if you isolate your power, if you isolate like different sections of your base, you won't run into that problem, right? So that'll be for next episode. Power networks. Let's actually change this to alloys. Probably tier 1. Yep, so stay tuned. Probably not tomorrow, guys. I work tomorrow. But Wednesday earliest, definitely Thursday I'll shoot for it. That'll be 8 Eastern either day. But yeah, if you're watching now, thanks for stopping in. And I get quite a few views after streaming, on Twitch that people watch it later. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the support watching later. YouTube, I don't know if you can see that in chat, but YouTube, I am at Mad Hat AK. It's the same as the top of your screen there. Check it out there. The full series is being posted to YouTube. In fact, after I stop this stream, I have to edit for time, edit the crap I don't want to. People don't need to see. You know, this episode's probably actually going to get cut in half because of stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching on YouTube. You guys are awesome. And y'all have a safe work week. If I don't see you again, be good out there. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.